So we're back on Radio Row. We're here in Arizona. We're ahead of Super Bowl 57. It's live on talkSPORT this Sunday, 11 p.m. We're live in the stadium, bringing you full comms. Shane Vereen there, me, Ollie Wilson, who's alongside me now. But a man who knows what it takes to go to one of these games, to win one of these games. In fact, the first game we ever did commentary of in Minneapolis on talkSPORT. That's the game that this man won 5 years ago with the Philadelphia Eagles. Malcolm Jenkins is here. Hold on one second. Is this going to happen? Malcolm, how would you feel about Jordan Poyer, safety of the Buffalo Bills, coming and jumping in on our interview and being involved? Basically, we realized...
Okay. What's up, guys?
Hey.
So I didn't mean to barge in here. I just kind of, got the gist. We coming over here to do some interviews. What's up?
No, I love that, man. Jordan Poyer's with us as well. I was just giving Malcolm Jenkins a bit of an introduction. The guy has been and won a Super Bowl,
Legendary.
one of the best safeties in the league over the last kind of decade or so.
Yes.
And Jordan Poyer, I mean, this is the joy of the Super Bowl, right?
Legendary.
Well, Malcolm,
you up for some money, ain't you?
Huh? Come on, bro.
Yeah. Pay the man.
I'm just trying to get like you, bro. That's it. I'm just trying to get like you, bro.
Malcolm, you've got a book coming out that is the secrets of winners, what it takes to be the best. You've got to impart some wisdom, surely, into the young man here.
Please do.
He's won plenty enough. I don't think he needs to hear from me.
Not giving away those tricks.
Yeah, but it's the book is called What Winners Won't Tell You. It's really about my life, the things I've learned in football, but also in business, sports, family, just told through like the lessons of the game kind of thing. I was able to get Tom Brady to do the foreword for me, so that was big. Lined up great with his retirement as well. But yeah, it's one of those things that I've lived a life kind of in the spotlight, but there are a lot of things in context to my life and the reasons why I do what I do that I hadn't really shared much of. So excited to kind of open up that other kind of half of my life and doing it through this memoir.
How do you approach Tom Brady? You remember how I beat you in that last Super Bowl of that run that you had?
Yeah.
Like, could you talk about that, please?
Well, I think the good part about it is, the last significant game we played, he won. So we beat him twice. I think it was 2020. We beat him twice in the regular season, swept him. We embarrassed him, actually. And then, but when it counted in the playoffs, they got us back. So I think, with that last one being on his favor, it made the ask a little bit easier.
Love that. Jordan, thank you for coming and
Thanks
joining
for
us
having me.
as well.
I appreciate it.
We didn't know this was all going to happen at once. We love that it is. I mean, you're a guy who was in Philadelphia for a period of time earlier in your career as well, but now with the Bills, how are you feeling coming off the back of that season? Not where you want to be here this week, but
I know, right?
Still a pretty great year for you.
Yeah, it was a crazy year. There's no moral victories in the NFL ever. Only one team gets to host the trophy at the end of the season. So, we had a lot of expectations coming into the season, one from the outside and the inside, and didn't really meet them, especially down the stretch. But so proud of the guys of the stuff that we had to go throughout the season. I mean, you talk about adversity, whether it was the Buffalo shooting or whether it was the health of the Pagula family member, and then the snowstorm, and then obviously Damar Hamlin going down. I mean, there was just so much off the field stuff happening, and guys really just honed in and stayed focused. And I've been telling people all day, if you were going to tell us at the beginning of the season that we'd had to deal with all the adversity that we were going to deal with, and win 13 games and have 2 home playoff games, I'd have probably thought you were crazy. But we handled adversity the way we did. Cincinnati just came in and beat the hell out of us, and that's just we were down 14-0 early and just couldn't find a way to come back in the game, and that was our season. It was a tough way to end it, but you live from it, you learn from it, and you just keep continuing to move on from it. So proud of the guys, but there's no moral victories, but we'll be all right.
Malcolm was a guy watching everything that happened there, and Jordan just summed it up beautifully. As a guy from the outside who knows about the locker room and the togetherness of that, how do you see those from the outside and the strength of that team?
Yeah, I mean, I think I had the Bills winning the Super Bowl this year, or at least getting to it, just when you see what they're made of. And I think to Jordan's point, to survive all of that, you've got to be a team that, one, is talented enough to compete with anybody, but two, has the leadership and the core to survive all those things and stay locked in and focused. And so I think it's really a testament to the guys they have in that locker room. But realistically, that's the beauty of our game. One team every year gets to say that they accomplished what they wanted to. Every single team puts in the work. Every team starts the thing over. Come pretty much Monday after this week. right? You start that journey all over again every single year. And so, you know, it's one of those things that it hurts every single time. It's always an abrupt end, whether it ends in week 17 or wins in an AFC, NFC championship. It's just how it goes.
Can I ask you both about connections to the city that you're playing in? Going through what you guys have gone through in Buffalo, for instance, this year, everybody mentions how the fan base feels so close to the team and the players. And, of course, Malcolm, you've been in teams like, for instance, the New Orleans Saints that have gone so much and really forged a close bond with the people of the city, and how that impacts you as players when you step into a building and as you're playing for the team in the city.
Yeah, I think, you know, I've had the pleasure of playing for two really strong fan bases in New Orleans and then going to Philadelphia. And when you talk about, you know, people living and dying off of what we do on the field, but the reciprocity of, like, we feel the same thing. We embody the personality of, you know, our fan base. And it's not like that everywhere. You know, we've been to places where on a road where it felt like an Eagles home game. And that's unique. So I feel very fortunate to be in those two organizations and to be in a city where, you know, I can pour back into the city and they pour into me. And really we take the ride together. I think that you feel it's palpable on the field as a player. You know when it's empty. And it's one of those things that I've been spoiled, right? Until you go somewhere and it's not that, you start to realize how fortunate you are.
Yeah, I came from Cleveland during the tough days. We was out there. From 2013 to 2016, we were bad, and you know, there was still fan support, but you know, seats was empty. You get to Buffalo, and I mean, they hadn't won a playoff game in 20 years or so. In 2017, all you hear about is the 4 Super Bowls they went to and lost all 4 of them. And but you know, I still remember that first home playoff game we played the New York Jets in 2017, and it was a sold-out game. Buffalo Bills versus the New York Jets, like sold-out game, and I knew, you know, that I was like, this is going to be absolutely crazy. And as I grew in Buffalo over the years, I really, you know, I truly consider that like family out there. You know, being in the community and seeing them give back to you, seeing them pour, like you said, pour back into you, and you know, you're going out and people just want to be a part of you, want to just say hello to you, just saying thank you. Just, you know, you're playing a game of football and people are telling you thank you for, you know, bringing so much joy to my family, you know, and that's just, it's crazy to me. And Bills fans, like, they love their football. They love their sports, but they love their football. And, I mean, they'll go out there and break tables all day, every day, you know, until the game starts. So, it's crazy out there. It is what they seem like it is.
The Bills are coming over to London this year, and I reckon Tottenham High Road outside that stadium, I want to see.
It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. I'll tell you, it's going to be crazy. And, I mean, that's what Buffalo's about, man. They love their football. They love their players. And, you know, as much as everybody on that team all gives back into the community, and you definitely feel it back from that community.
Football's a business as well at the end of the day, as much as it is community. Would you like to stay in Buffalo if that's the opportunity, if the right contract comes along from them?
Of course I'd like to stay out there. I feel like, you know, I've built such great relationships with the guys that I've been playing with over the last 6 years out there. And, you know, I obviously feel like we have unfinished business to do out there. And so, of course, I would love to be out there. But I understand the first thing they tell you when you come into this league is
it's a business.
It's a business. So you know, I'm definitely gonna enjoy this free agency process and, you know, take it for what it's worth. And, you know, if it makes sense, you know, it makes sense. So, but I'm not gonna give any, you know, I would love to, you know, finish my career out there, but I'm not going to be upset if that doesn't happen.
And it gives you a chance to come to London, of course. Malcolm got to do that in his career, and it's fun, right? Coming out and doing that game.
Yeah, I've been out there even more since. You know, I invested in, they were in the Premier League, but in Burnley Football Club. So I'll be out there more often. But, yeah, I think it was a great time. Played the Jaguars. Fans were amazing. It's a great time. You ever played out there?
I've never played out there.
It's a good time.
Never played out there.
Why? Burnley.
I just want to be clear. I'm a Reading fan who are like another team in the Championship.
Yeah.
We hold the all-time record for points in the second tier, and I'm worried Vincent Company and Burnley are going to break that this year. Like,
you see them.
Yeah, they are. That is an
crazy.
incredible team.
Yeah,
incredible team. Why Burnley? Like,
I was part of. I'm good friends with the ownership group. They're an American ownership group that purchased the team maybe a year or two ago. So we were able to get in on that deal. learned a lot about, obviously went to Burnley, the Turf Moor, all those things. They were playing, I think, Man City. So, yeah, I think it was just a phenomenal, opportunity. But to see kind of what they've done with the team from a leadership standpoint, even getting relegated and now what they're doing in Champions League is great.
I tell you, that's a town not unlike what you're talking about with Philly and with New Orleans and with.
It's very much the same.
It's not. I mean, I guess New Orleans is a cool town, but it's not like a hit place. It's not like a famous place, but it is. The fans love their team. So
it reminded me a lot of Philly, to be honest, and that was one of the things that attracted us to it when the opportunity came. Is that you have a fan base that is fully invested in the football club.
Can I ask you, Jordan, about facing and beating Patrick Mahomes this year, because a lot of people know that's going to be the X factor this weekend, right?
Yeah. I mean, who you got to stop him? Travis Kelce. I mean, golly, I was telling them. They said if I had to stand up in front of the Eagles team and give them one set of advice on how to beat the Kansas City Chiefs, all I said was just you guard Travis Kelce. I mean, put 2 guys on him maybe, because I mean that's an extremely high power offense with so many weapons. And I always tell people the play. There's 2 plays when Pat Mahomes lines up under center. It's the initial play, and then it's his play that he creates with his legs, and he's rolling out of the pocket, throwing the ball underhand, and just creating those plays. And I think for the Eagles, they're gonna have to take advantage of opportunities, like when the ball's in the air and Pat does roll out to his right and try to throw the ball across the field. Those are the plays that you have to make and that you have to damn near defend. They just can't happen. And so I think it's going to be the off script plays that are going to help. I think the Chiefs are going to win the game by 3 points. It's going to be like a 31-28 type game, 28-25 type game. Whoever has the ball last with the field goal team coming out to kick the field goal to win the game. That's how I think it's a game.
It sounds like a great game to me.
It sounds like a wonderful game, but it could definitely go either way, though. I mean, you can make the argument on the other side of the football, too, but for me, if I had to pick, I'm going to pick the Chiefs to win by 3.
Well, a guy who actually Malcolm knows pretty well is going to very possibly be going up against Travis Kelce plenty this weekend in C.J. Gardner-Johnson. That trade and what they got in a player for not a lot of either cash or draft capital, he's a hell of a player.
Hell of a player.
Yeah, I think people I think really underestimate his intelligence as a player. He's got big dreads and all these things. Walks around like Kodak Black and things like that. So people really don't understand that he's a very smart player. He's versatile as hell, can do anything, cover in the slot. He's been playing out of position this year. He's playing true free safety. He's really, truly a nickel. But he can do it all. And I think, them getting him in a trade was just, shout out to Howie Roseman. He did that. And it's been a phenomenal player for that team this year. But also, we just look at that entire defense, what they're doing up front, that D-line, the 2 corners. It allows those safeties to be very, very aggressive, to be guys who float to the ball without really worrying about having too much error or covering people up. And it's a perfect system for them.
Have you shown anybody in that Philadelphia defense what you did in the Super Bowl to Brandon Cooks as a way to shut down Travis Kelce? That might work as well.
I know the size difference is a little. I don't know if you're going to get the same results.
Might bounce off.
Yeah, you better put 2 people on them. Yeah.
I mean, Jordan obviously did the off-season huge amount about your free agent, but how else are you going to be spending this off-season? Like we always hear from Malcolm, he's now written this book. He's a guy who's always very active during his career. Like, what do you do to fill this time now?
Well, I golf a lot. That's for one. I golf a ton. I got the Jordan Poyer Foundation. We started teaming up with ECMC, a hospital out of Buffalo, New York, and we've done a lot of charity events in Buffalo. We're going down to South Florida now, and I'm hosting my 2nd annual Jordan Poyer Celebrity Golf Tournament at the Blue Monster Golf Course in Trump Doral. So that's going to be super big. That'll be in July. Rick Ross will be out there. A lot of Jake Paul will be out there. It'll be pretty cool. If you golf, you want to come out there, holla at me. So, yeah.
I golf.
You golf? Are you a good golfer? You pretty good?
17.
Up and down?
Playing off 17.
Yeah, okay, that's solid. So yeah, just I want to continue to stay in the community as much as I can. I got a story of my alcoholism. I've been 3 years sober, so I like to get out in the community and tell my story about my struggle with alcohol. And so that's something that helped me prepare. Once I came out with my story, helped me prepare myself to prepare for after football, because I definitely don't want to get into coaching. So I'm trying to prepare myself for after football so I don't have to get into coaching. So that's what I'm planning on doing.
Become an author. That's always an option
Yeah,
as well.
sell a couple books.
Yeah, yeah.
Get
I
you
don't
a
know about that one.
podcast.
Yeah, I
do
do
all that.
the podcast part.
You
The book part. That's some smart.
Nah, man, you good. You're fine. You're fine. You got it. You got a story to tell, man.
Well, we've already heard Jordan's pick for this weekend. Malcolm, have you got to go Eagles?
I don't have to, but I'm going Eagles for sure, without a doubt. And I'm a little biased, but I just think when I look at the talent on both teams, I think the Eagles have a more talented roster. I think they have a healthier roster going into this game. I think what they have in talent, they lack in experience for this game. Obviously, Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, Kelsey, all these guys, they've been in it. This stage won't be too big for them. They know how to adjust and win multiple ways. But I do think the Eagles have shown that they can win in a multitude of ways as well. So I can see this game being one that is not close in the Eagles winning, but I can also see it being a nail-biter in the Eagles winning. So
Either way,
a
second one going back
that
to
trophy's
Philly.
going back to Philly. So
Grease the poles,
you
baby.
know, get ready.
Malcolm, you've written a book saying, the secrets to being great, basically. What is the secret, if you could impart any piece of wisdom from what you've been through, to win a Super Bowl?
Yeah, like one of the things I talk about a lot in the book is poise. And it just comes down to preparation, being able to get into these moments and understand what matters and what doesn't, right? So all of the hype, all of the things, the expectations, the game is the same. It's the same as it was when you were a kid. It's the same field, the same ball, the same rules, and you have to make it the same. And all of this other stuff really doesn't matter. And I think when you look at, like, there's no better definition of poise to me right now than these two quarterbacks. Like, both of them, especially Jalen Hurts, all year, all of the hype that's been around him, people saying he can't do this, can't do that, and every week he has a straight face and he's on a mission. All right, that's really what it takes to have success over a long period of time. We've seen it with Patrick Mahomes, somebody who just every year just changes his game, gets better, doesn't really worry about what's going on, and never really gets flustered. Those are things that, are at the core of anybody who has success in any kind of high-pressure, high-performance type of job. You have to have poise, and that just comes with discernment to be able to know what matters and what doesn't.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Jordan, just very last one from me then. I'm sure you've spoken a huge amount about everything with Damar and what happened earlier this year, but last night at the Honours, the moment that we got to see Damar Hamlin on the stage with all that medical staff, all those people who saved that young man's life, a guy you know so well from your safety room, just tell us a bit about how that felt watching that last night.
Yeah, I texted him after, and I just told him how proud I was of him. Before the incident, I had always told him how proud I am of him. I feel like a big brother. Just seeing him obviously step into the role of a starting safety once Micah got hurt. Before even that, just seeing him grow, not just on the field, off the field, in the community, seeing how much love he has for the community of Buffalo, not just the Buffalo, but of Pittsburgh, of everywhere he goes in the community, how much love that he really shows. Obviously then the incident happened, but just knowing him and knowing the type of person he is, I'm not surprised that he was able to pull through it and be up on stage and be given that speech, just because he is, he really is that power. Like, he is so strong as a human being, and it inspires me. Like, seeing him up there gives me chills, and he would always tell me all the time how much I inspired him. But the stuff that he's able to do right now, it almost brings a damn tear to my eye just to see him come back from his injury, fight through. Damn near, he died on the field, fight through life and death situation day in and day out. And then obviously seeing him go accept that award last night, man, it gave me chills. I almost started crying. I'm about to start crying talking about it because, it was real. It was real what I saw. Everybody else saw it on TV. I was from me to you. Like, I heard the crack. I heard I saw him get up. I saw him fix his helmet. I turned around. I remember seeing Dane Jackson just run right by me because, they were boys, and so he saw him fall. I didn't see him fall. Dane did, and he ran right by me. I turned around, and, he's on the ground, and then from there it was like a movie. And, it was tough to deal with for, quite a while because we play this game, man. And, you never expect to see something like that. And but like I said, just to see him overcome all of that, I'm so extremely proud of him. I'm so happy for him and his family to be able to, he's gonna continue to help people and inspire people like myself, for a long, long time. And the fact that he even said he's gonna play again, I mean, I'm so happy for him, man. I can't wait to see him and continue to follow his journey throughout his life.